I sold everything. My stocks, my crypto, even my Tesla. Now your first reaction might be, wow, this guy's got paper hands. And maybe I do, but that's not why I sold. Another thing you might be wondering is, maybe I think the market's gonna crash. And I can tell you that's not the case. Or maybe you're thinking that I just went full minimalist. I did just watch the Netflix documentary on it, but I can tell you that's not the case. And if you don't believe me, go watch all the videos on my dream home. It's definitely not minimalist. I actually sold all of those things for a very different reason that I'm gonna get into in this video. But before I jump into why I sold those things, I wanna let you know that I'm gonna be giving away one of my courses completely for free. All you gotta do is make sure you're subscribed to this channel and leave a comment below about what you're investing in. Now, that being said, let's talk about why I just sold all of those things. So let's first start with stocks. Why did I sell them all? Well, I actually didn't start investing in stocks until 2020. Up until that point, I only was invested in real estate because it gave me such a better return than anything else. I just knew anytime I had money, it was better off going into my next flip or into marketing for my business or into growing my business, that putting it towards stocks or some type of passive income thing that I couldn't control was not smart. The other thing is, I don't specialize in stocks, nor do I want to. I have no desire to learn more about them. I have no desire to look at charts. I have no desire to watch YouTube videos on them. I just could care less about stocks. I didn't even know the difference between ETFs or mutual funds until I had my friend Humphrey Yang on the channel to explain it. But the whole reason I started investing in stocks back in 2020 was because I felt like there was a huge opportunity. When the pandemic happened in March, the stock market crashed significantly. And I had about $180,000 in my IRA that I was gonna use towards real estate. But I had just felt that the stock market was extremely undervalued when all of that happened in March. And so I took all of that $180,000 and threw it into the market. My biggest bet was Tesla, which ended up doing extremely well. And in just 1 year, that $180,000 turned into over $300,000. So that was over a 65% return on my investment, which was really good. And in hindsight, I should have just thrown it all at Bitcoin or Ethereum, and I would have probably 10 or 20x my money. But nonetheless, it was still a good investment and a wise move, even though I didn't totally understand stocks. Now, with all investments, you gotta always be adapting. Just because it worked in that time period doesn't mean that I should continue to do that going forward. To be honest, I was just really lucky timing the market. And when I look at the market today, over a year later, I can tell you, I don't think I'm gonna get 65% on my money again. I don't think there's many people in the stock market predicting that on a diversified portfolio. And I don't think stocks are undervalued like they were back in March. So for that reason, I decided to sell the entire portfolio. And the thing I wanna make clear to everyone watching this video is that you should not diversify just for the sake of diversifying, especially if you're trying to diversify into things that you don't understand. Take for instance me. I understand real estate really well. In fact, I would say I'm better than 99.9% of people at investing in real estate. And I don't want to come across as cocky or overconfident, but the facts are the facts. I've made millions of dollars doing it, starting with almost nothing. I've bought hundreds of houses, all the way from single family to condos to mobile homes. If you watch my video about how I negotiated a 10-unit apartment building for only $16,000, you'll see that we can do the same things in the multifamily space. If you've watched my dream home series, then you know that I could sell my land today and make millions. The point is, I know how to find, negotiate, and put together real estate deals at a really high level. And we actually just locked up a 300-unit apartment building in Georgia with my new fund, Pineda Capital. And that's another extremely good deal. We're gonna be all into it for about $21 million, and we expect it to be worth over $30 million once it's stabilized. So my point is, I know how to find good deals with any type of real estate. It could be a normal house, it could be land, it could be multifamily. It's all the same thing to me. And so for me not to lean in on my strengths of finding great real estate deals and instead put money towards something I'm not good at, aka stocks, it's just really dumb. And so that's why I sold my entire stock portfolio, and I'm gonna be putting all of those proceeds into my fund to go buy that 300+ unit building. And you can actually invest with me on that building if you're an accredited investor. So if you want to get in on that deal, go to pinedacapital.com and go apply. Now really, there's an easy way to sum up why I sold my stocks, and it just comes down to opportunity cost. I believe that the money I had in the stock market is going to get a better return in my fund going forward, mainly because this is a great deal and I'm playing to my strengths instead of my weaknesses. And so that's lesson number one to any of you listening, is that you don't need to be great at everything. Stick to investing into your strengths and the things that you understand. And all of that leads to why I sold my crypto. Now, I've done a lot of different videos on crypto, most of which actually flopped. It seems like nobody really cares about my crypto portfolio. This year, I actually had over $1 million invested into crypto. And at the peak in April, when Bitcoin was over $60,000 and Ethereum was over $4,000, I was almost up over $1 million profit. Well, as we know, in May, things actually changed dramatically and everyone's portfolio got cut in half. And for me, I ended up losing all of my gains, and on top of that, I was investing in some random altcoins trying to flip them, and I ended up losing money doing that. And so after everything, I ended up losing $50,000. And it sucks. I could have sold for profit back when I was up a lot. I could have avoided buying all those altcoins like I said I would, but I just could not resist throwing more and more money into it as the market was going up. I kept buying all the dips along the way, and I kept trying to do new things because I was up so much on paper. And that's what makes trading crypto tough if you're not gonna hold it for the long haul. With house flipping, we have a targeted end date. We know that once the house is fixed up and on the market, it's just a matter of whenever we get that offer. So I don't have to think about the timing aspect of when is the best time to sell. In crypto, trying to figure out when to sell is really hard. This is the whole reason why everyone tells you to hodl and never sell, because it's really tough for most people to time the market, myself included. Now here's the thing, in the grand scheme of things, I'm not happy that I lost $50,000. And in fact, with my competitive nature, I would be foolish to say that I'm done buying crypto this year. I'm certain I'm gonna end up getting FOMO, and I'm gonna try and buy back in and at least break even. But as of today, I am completely liquidated from all of my crypto. And I just wanna say for all of you watching, I do believe that crypto is a good investment in the long run. I do believe Bitcoin's gonna go over $100,000 at some point. I do think Ethereum's gonna hit all-time highs. If you just look at the chart, it always goes up in the long run. In the short run though, you've got to deal with all the volatility and all of the dips. But as I said with selling my stocks, it's not just as simple as saying, oh, well, crypto's gonna go up, so I just need to hold. There's always opportunity cost with your money. And so I gotta ask myself, is keeping almost $1 million in crypto the best use of my money? Is there another opportunity out there where I can put that money to work with much more predictable, safer returns? And the answer is yes, I can go put it into real estate. Not only are there a lot of opportunities with my fund and all the house flips we're doing, but I'm actually in the process of making offers on a brand new office building. We've only been in this current office for over a year, but because my companies are growing so fast, we need a new space. And so if I'm able to buy an office building this year, it's gonna do a lot of different things for me. Number one, my businesses are gonna be able to continue to grow, and they're not gonna be hampered by how much space we have. And that alone is worth millions. The second thing is I'm gonna get a great deal on the building, and whatever I end up buying is gonna have millions in equity built into it because we're gonna get a great deal. But the third benefit will be all of the depreciation and tax benefits that I get from buying a building. On my channel, we've talked a lot about taxes and how rental properties can help you offset all of your income. And if I'm able to buy a $6 million building, which is what we're currently looking at, it's gonna offset a lot of my taxes if we do a cost segregation along with all the other capital expenses we put into it. And quick plug, if you didn't know, I actually own a tax company called TrueBooks. You can go check out our services at truebookscpa.com. Now, when you look at all three of those things, between helping my businesses grow, between getting a good deal and getting millions in equity, plus all the tax benefits of buying a building, I think putting $1 million towards that is a far smarter move than putting $1 million towards a crypto portfolio. Even if my crypto portfolio doubles or triples this next year, it still's not gonna beat the real estate that I can buy. And so once again, it all comes back to opportunity cost. For you watching this, it might make more sense to keep it in crypto or keep it in stocks. For me, with my situation and my skill set, it doesn't make sense. I can get a very predictable return by throwing it into real estate, because we've done it so many times and that's what we do best. So that's the main reason I've liquidated all of my crypto. But also, you know, I have paper hands. Now let's talk about why I sold the Tesla. So I bought my Model X about a year ago, and for the most part, it's been a great car. There are some things that have made me mad that I've done videos on. The Falcon doors like to work whenever they feel like it. The range isn't what it claims to be. And the build quality is just not that great compared to other luxury brands. But I will say, as far as value goes, and the tech goes, and the experience goes, Teslas are amazing. But in the end, I kind of just got bored of it. I typically change my car every 1 to 2 years. But here's the thing, the car market right now is in a crazy place. If you haven't heard, just like the real estate market, car dealers have no inventory. They can't make new cars due to chip shortages. And so it's creating this crazy demand for cars. You're seeing used cars sell for more than new cars. And then you're seeing new cars go for over MSRP regularly. I actually heard a story from my cousin Josh, who's featured on my podcast sometime, and he said at one point Mercedes had like 10 cars on the lot when usually they have 300. So if you can imagine, if you only have 10 cars on the lot, you better really maximize those cars and sell them for top dollar. So if you were ever thinking about selling your car, it's literally the best time in history to do it. Now, I knew I wanted to sell my Model X, but the only problem was, what am I gonna buy? This is the same dilemma that you're seeing happen with real estate sellers. They'd love to sell their house because they have a lot of equity, but what are they gonna buy after they sell it? If they end up selling for top dollar, but paying top dollar, it's kind of a wash. It's not like anything really happened. So even though I knew I could sell my Model X at a premium, I just refused to buy anything that I was seeing on the market. I wouldn't even pay MSRP for a car, let alone above MSRP. It just goes against everything I've ever done in my life with finding good deals. And so I decided that the only way I would sell the Tesla is if I found a really good deal on a sports car, or if my Rivian R1S that I pre-ordered came in. Now the Rivian is getting released later this year, but it remains to be seen when I'll actually get mine. So I wasn't really counting on that. So that just left me with finding a sports car, which if you watch my Turo series, you know I've been looking for one for a while now. And after months of thinking about which one I wanted, as well as looking at deals all over the country, I was able to actually buy one at a significant discount. I ended up getting a brand new Porsche Taycan at 20% off of MSRP. And that's completely unheard of, especially in today's market. And in fact, I'm making a video detailing how exactly I did that so that you guys can go negotiate a new car the same way. So make sure you're subscribed so that you can see that video when it comes out. But once I bought the Taycan, that set the stage to sell my Tesla. I threw it up on Auto Trader for $80,000. This was $5 grand over what Kelley Blue Book said it was worth. And I got a ton of inquiries, and within 2 days, I had sold it for full price. And in hindsight, I could have probably got even more because the demand was so high. And that $80,000 was pretty close to what I paid for it a year ago, even after putting over 10,000 miles on it. So it all worked out, and I gotta tell you, the Tesla was great. I loved the purchase. I enjoyed my time driving it, but it's time to move on to a next chapter of my life when it comes to cars. So anyways, that's why I decided to sell everything. It really just came down to better opportunities in front of me. And I hope this video opened your eyes to opportunities that might be in front of you. And as I said at the beginning of this video, I'm gonna be giving away one of my courses completely for free. All you gotta do is subscribe and comment below what you're investing in. And I'll catch you on the next video. Peace.